Hello, everyone. Today you will learn interesting facts about the Middle Ages. Tonight, let us turn our gaze from the practicalities of daily existence and delve into the human heart, exploring how love blossomed and endured in a world so different from our own. Forget the sweeping romantic comedies or dating apps of today. In the Middle Ages, love was a tapestry woven with threads of duty, practicality, faith, and sometimes a pure, unexpected passion. Our journey into medieval love begins, as many things did, with marriage. For the vast majority of people, especially among the nobility and wealthy merchants, marriage was not primarily about romantic love as we understand it, but a strategic contract. It was an alliance between families, a means of securing land, wealth, political power, or social status. Imagine a young noblewoman, perhaps barely into her teens, told she was to marry a man she had never met, chosen by her parents for his lands, his family's influence, or even to end a long standing feud. Her feelings were secondary to the family's strategic needs. Negotiations could be lengthy and complex, involving detailed discussions about dowries, the property or money brought by the bride to the marriage, which were crucial, often dictating the desirability of a match. For noble sons, marriage was about securing heirs, ensuring the continuation of the family line, and expanding their influence and territory. The wedding ceremony itself, while sanctified by the church, was often less about personal vows exchanged in a private moment and more about a public declaration of the union, sealing the pact before witnesses and the assembled community. It was a societal event, a visible affirmation of a new bond between powerful families. Yet, within these often arranged unions, genuine affection could, and often did, grow. Life in a medieval castle or manor was a shared endeavor. Spouses faced common challenges, managed households or vast estates together, and raised children in a world of uncertainty. Through shared responsibilities, mutual respect, and the daily give and take of married life, deep bonds of companionship and quiet devotion frequently blossomed. It was a love born of shared experience and mutual necessity, a steady flame that grew stronger over time rather than a sudden, overwhelming spark. A lord might come to deeply value his lady's wisdom in managing the household and tenants, while she, in turn, might admire his strength and leadership in protecting their lands. The commitment to their family and their shared future often fostered a profound, if unspoken, connection. Then there was courtly love, a concept that emerged in the 11th and 12th centuries, primarily within aristocratic circles, and profoundly influenced by the troubadours and poets of Provence. This was a highly idealized, often secret, and typically non sexual form of admiration for a lady, usually another man's wife, though sometimes a maiden. The knight or noble suitor would serve his chosen lady with unwavering loyalty, performing valiant deeds in her name on the battlefield or in tournaments, writing passionate poetry and songs, and enduring suffering or hardship for her elusive favor. She was often depicted as an unattainable ideal, beautiful, virtuous, and of higher social status than her admirer. This form of love was less about conquest and more about refinement, chivalry, and spiritual elevation. It was a game, a performance, a way for knights to demonstrate their prowess, courage, and refinement to their peers and to the object of their devotion. Imagine a knight, perhaps inspired by the legends of King Arthur and his knights, wearing his lady's favor, a scarf or ribbon, into battle, or dedicating his victory in a joust to her. He might compose elaborate poems or songs singing of her beauty and his devotion, even if they had never exchanged a private word or a meaningful glance. This courtly love, while often platonic and symbolic, was a powerful force in medieval literature and art, shaping ideals of conduct among the elite and providing an outlet for emotional expression that official, practical marriages often lacked. It allowed for intense, romantic feelings to be explored within a social framework, even if real life practice was far more complex and sometimes led to scandal or tragedy when boundaries were crossed. For the common folk, love and marriage took on a different, more grounded character. Peasants often married within their own village or nearby communities, often with the Lord's permission, as a means of establishing new households and ensuring there were enough hands for the land. While practical considerations like shared labor, the ability to contribute to the household's sustenance, and strong health were paramount, there was often more freedom in choosing a partner based on mutual attraction and shared burdens. A strong, capable partner was essential for survival in a harsh world. Courtship might involve simple communal gatherings, shared laughter during harvest festivals, or quiet walks to the well. Their love was pragmatic, rooted in the everyday struggles and triumphs of farming, raising children, and enduring hardships together. Affection was expressed through shared work, the silent understanding forged through cooperation, small gestures of kindness, and the security of a stable home, however humble. Divorce was virtually non existent, sanctioned only by the church under very specific, rare circumstances. So once married, these partnerships were for life, requiring deep commitment and resilience. Family love was a cornerstone of medieval society, perhaps even more so than today due to the lack of external support systems. Despite the tragically high infant and child mortality rates, parents cherished their children, and familial bonds were incredibly strong. Children were vital for labor and for continuing the family name. Extended families often lived in close proximity, in the same village, or even within the same household, providing a vital support network for everything from farming tasks to childcare to care for the sick or elderly. Siblings relied on each other, often working side by side from a young age, forming deep bonds of shared experience. The elderly were generally respected for their wisdom and experience and cared for by their kin. This love was about continuity, tradition, and the survival of the lineage in a tangible way, ensuring the family's place on the land and within the community. Beyond human relationships, religious love was a dominant, pervasive force in medieval life. The love of God, of Christ, of the Virgin Mary, and of the multitude of saints permeated every aspect of existence for all social classes. For many, the deepest and most profound love was spiritual, expressed through fervent devotion, constant prayer, and acts of charity towards their neighbors. Monks and nuns dedicated their entire lives to this divine love, forsaking worldly attachments to pursue a spiritual union. Pilgrimages, often arduous journeys, spanning months or even years to holy sites, were undertaken out of profound love and devotion, a tangible expression of faith and penance. This form of love gave meaning to suffering, provided comfort in hardship, and offered a promise of eternal salvation, shaping morality, daily rituals, and communal life. How was love expressed without the modern conveniences of communication? There were no instant messages, no video calls, no lengthy emails. Letters were rare and costly, primarily for the literate elite, painstakingly written out and carried by messengers who might take weeks or months to reach their destination, their delivery dependent on safe passage. Instead, love was communicated through gestures, shared glances across a crowded hall, small gifts, perhaps a carefully chosen ribbon, a wildflower from the fields, a simple carved wooden token, or a piece of handcrafted jewelry. The language of poetry and song was vital, allowing complex emotions to be conveyed and shared, whether performed by a wandering troubadour or sung softly to oneself. Chivalry provided a framework for honorable behavior, where a knight's public respect and service to a lady were highly valued signs of admiration. Word of mouth and reputation were critical. A man's honor and a woman's virtue were publicly known and fiercely protected within the close knit community, shaping how love was perceived and pursued. The complexities of love in the Middle Ages also included its darker aspects, the pain of forced marriages, where love was never given a chance to grow, the heartbreak of infidelity, and its often severe social consequences, especially for women, and the profound grief of loss in a time of high mortality due to illness, famine, and frequent conflict. Life was fragile, and the human heart experienced both profound joy and immense sorrow. Yet, through it all, the fundamental human need for connection, for belonging, and for affection persisted. Love, in its many forms, whether the strategic alliance of a noble marriage, the ethereal ideal of courtly love, the grounded, enduring partnership of peasant life, the fierce bonds of family, or the fervent devotion to the divine, was an intrinsic and resilient part of the medieval experience, shaping lives and communities with its enduring power. So, as you drift off to sleep, perhaps you can contemplate the quiet strength and multifaceted nature of love in an age of stone castles and whispered poems, a testament to the enduring power of the human heart, regardless of the era. Good night.